And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, nice move. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A give. This is Cook. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They run again on first down. Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They're going to look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second down, Prescott. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
He's going to get it running right and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gone! 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 Gone!
They'll look to throw here. Being chased out left. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go now. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Back to throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Gone, 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 gone.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Swing to the field, right. To the right.
A second down throw for Prescott. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Prescott now on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a 1st down. First down, Prescott. Steps away to his left. 10 more there and another 1st down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays you can't account for.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
47.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
Like I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Swing to the field, right. To the right. Here we go. Line in. Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Line in.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's to the 10 and all the way down to the 5. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out first downs and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
We're going to 54. Why?
They get it to him running left. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal.
We're going to 54. Why?
Prescott from the gun. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out.
That's caught at the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Gone! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And now running right through it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys. But you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. They'll run it. This is Ferguson. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Two minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will knot us up at 10. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. With that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you kind of hit the jackpot there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here go 46.
Prescott on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a second down. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. Third and short yardage. Prescott finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. first down throw for Prescott. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the carry, but they'll need to double that here. It's 3rd and 14.
Swing to the field, right. To the right. Let's go. Let's finish now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flush to his right. He's got a man, complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it. And that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Holland. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Dances by him. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
The Falcons on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll set up to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that's going to tie us at 13. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Well, someone wasn't very happy about that game being tied up. They came right back at them with a big-time return. They want to get back out in front as fast as possible.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
On third down, it's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Wide open receiver complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Now let's go.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. On the give, this is their fullback. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down.
3rd and inches, they just handed to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fellow and let him get forward for a first down.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. And they'll go on the ground. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Flushed out right. And some room to maneuver. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Swing on the field, right. To the right.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Prescott escaping the pressure right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
What do you think? We're going to 54.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Vikings send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch it now, Barney.
Looking to throw. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth-quarter advantage. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
And they'll run it here. He's able to get 6, a nice pickup down to the 21.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Hey.
A 2nd down carry for Ferguson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Over.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run. So now a little soul-searching on 4th down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do.
Stephon Diggs! And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Here we go, 46, 46. Here you go. Switch, hey. 26.
Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
46, 46.
Back to throw. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Good. 26.
They'll look to throw. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. He's back to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe. And now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. So the face mask certainly helps things as they'll start up past the 30 on first down. Ryan heads down to a knee, and that should wrap this one up. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Atlanta, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.